Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Joseph Ramirez back at it again with another deck tech profile for Team Synergy decks. So, kind of coming to you quite a bit of different. Obviously, you can see we've got quite a bit of decks we've gone through a couple of them. So, go ahead and go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here. So if we take a look at the synergy, Tampa Bay says obviously if you're Bucks, your short and medium passes gain an additional 15 yards. Fix this here. So gain an extra 15 yards on offense when you have a short or medium pass. So not bad. Pretty good, obviously, offensively, not very good defensively. We'll talk about, how we rate them and kind of go into this a little bit on some ideas. So, first off, I will say that with this Bucks particular team, it's pretty much a really one-trick, one-shot pony. It's been like that since really the beginning. The deck idea stems around Chris Godwin. So your first short and medium pass you play each drive is unstoppable. So that very first turn, you take a look at your short or medium pass. Even if they stop it, it can't be stopped. So then you just really go out and make a big medium pass play or short pass play, which can be sharp and focused, can be speed kills, and could get you right in the end zone or pretty close to it at this point. Mike Evans on a run or receive, gain additional 15 yards if the tackler doesn't have a power-up. Otherwise, it's 5. Rob Gronkowski, 20 yards if your opponent does not have 2 linebackers on the field. So this is pretty good against some matchups, bad against others, no big deal. Tom Brady, who is one of the strongest 2022 players in the game. Only one card in the set, which was TJ Watt, can stop him. And if TJ Watt gets franchised to the Steelers, when you play like wild format where you can play, anything and everything, or all-star format, whatever you want to call it, you definitely would probably just put Tom Brady on every single deck so you can't have to worry about getting a turnover. Tom Brady in 2022 says, whenever your opponent would force a turnover, instead you gain possession of the ball and it becomes first down. Your Buccaneers cannot be chosen by your opponent's effects. So Tom Brady can't be chosen by effects. So he protects himself as well and all your players. So if they were going to, exhaust one of your players, couldn't exhaust because Tom Brady says no. Mike Allstott says during the second half, your opponent must play their defensive cards by random selection, meaning they have to randomly pick their cards in the second half for their play. So they don't get to, just pick a play and pick to counter you. They have to play it at random. So it brings an element of surprise to them. It takes a piece of the element of the game or the strategy of the game out because you have this guy in the second half. So have that. So overall, this particular offense, I would rate it at about a 3 to 3.5. Only because it's an average. It's a one-trick pony. Obviously, you got this. Once that's stopped, it becomes a catch-can game of who can call what right. And essentially, if you don't get that one score in, you have to really play the game and grind. So, good average, 3, maybe 3.5, just above with the way that Tom Brady works. On defense, again, I would probably rate this defense at a 3. We'll explain why. Vita Vea, exhaust, the run middle or run right, you can just decrease the play strength by 2. That's during on-field adjustments. Very, very strong, as in, you can just take away, up to, 10 yards or so, essentially, or, something of that nature. So, not terrible. Levante David of 2022 tackle, you can energize the Buccaneer. So it lets you reuse Vita Vea over again if you need to. Or you can, this Levante David can, activate and use Shaquille Barrett again. Shaquille Barrett says tackle all of your opponent's abilities. Cancel all of your opponent's abilities until the end of the next down. So I was wrong in my assessment earlier to say TJ Watt was the only thing that turned off Tom Brady, because Shaquille Barrett also does. I forgot about him. He does have to tackle, and then he turns off all the abilities. So pretty strong to turn off your opponent's total offense, but you do have to make sure you tackle with him first. So then we've got probably one of the strongest cards out of 2022. Got the only current franchisee, Ndamukong Suh. Exhaust, replay the down, remove this player from the field. The offense is 5 yards. Exhaust only doing on-field adjustments. So he's essentially a false start on a stick. You can do it whenever. Well, during on-field adjustment, but you can basically have access to it whenever. Which, like, if they play, this does good against itself, because if you do Chris Godwin, they go for sharpen focus and just go unstoppable huge. You can just Ndamukong Suh and replay the down, which it won't be your first short or medium pass that drive, since it did get replayed, and it's going to be your second pass that you play. It really, really hurts Chris Godwin. So things like this, Ndamukong Suh, really good. Now you pair this up with something like prevent defense. If the offense can, go real deep and play a big play and have, speed kills ready to go, and you just Ndamukong Suh, replay the down, and then the start of the next down, or prior to the play, you play prevent defense, and then it makes it so that their speed kills, sharpen focus, and those things just aren't active, and basically can, set yourself up to, stop their big play. Devin White, probably the strongest card out of 2021, or one of the strongest cards, I should say. The ability to return a card from your discard pile to your hand. Don't draw an action at the end of the down. This guy is good to be able to get. You can get plays. You can get actions. If you've seen one of my games from prior, you'd see that I pick up a unique play, and that way I can always choose the unique play, which is pretty strong. But now, I mean, it's just good to be able to get your important pieces back. So, excuse me, very good. And of course, that's why you run this Levante David, so that way you can ready him, or him, and that way you get multiple uses out of that. So, not too bad. As far as, like I said, when it comes to the plays, obviously you're going to do what you want to do with plays, how you feel. When it comes to actions, I'll kind of throw a little bit of ideas your way, obviously. I'm running 2 Deja Vu, running 2 Clean Slates, 1 Field Dynamics, 1 Natural Ability, 2 Open Air Stadium, 2 Sideline Adjustment, 2 Training Recall, 2 Speed Kills, 2 Outperform, 2 Circuit Breaker, 1 Not This Sunday, 1 Hollowed Ground, 1 Preseason Game, 2 Break Tackles, and 1 Heat Wave. So this is the setup for the deck. You could change it, obviously. You really want to keep like things like Speed Kills. Probably maybe would want to add a Sharpen Focus, for the Chris Godwin play, but it is pretty scary against things like Ndamukong Suh or stuff like that, false start, where if you don't make that play, you're going to turn the ball over. And with Sharpen Focus, Tom Brady does not stop that from turning over the ball, so it's very, very scary into doing that situation. So leave it up to you, and that way you can kind of obviously update the deck how you'd like. Hopefully that gives you an insight to the Tampa Bay Bucks on what they do, what they like to do, or maybe give you a deck idea for your next league play, tabletop game, whatever. That way you can get a general idea of how that plays, and hopefully you enjoy. Until next time, guys, you guys have a great day.